We're excited to be here.
I was,
You're hungover, but that doesn't count.
Dave is more excited than the rest of us, I think.
Good time. Well, it's, 6:30 on a Sunday?
6:30 on Sunday, I'm hungover and annoyed. Dave is... He's on a post... I think he's on a post-church high.
He's high on God, man. He's high on God.
He's high on Jesus. We should probably cut that bit, because it'll probably be offensive to someone.
Well, last time was it Nazi last time? I don't really know.
Yeah, there was Nazis. There was
set the boundary low, they can't get offended then.
Yeah, the bar's set pretty low, yeah, you're right.
So first of all, we got 148 viewers last week for the podcast, which is decent for a first podcast.
Well, it's not mind-blowing. It's not Ricky Gervais' podcast. That was like 1 million in the first hour or whatever.
We're not Ricky Gervais.
yeah, we are.
All right.
We absolutely are. We'll get him on next week. He'll be up for it.
Does he play computer games much?
Probably. He's got a lot of time on his hands, probably, hasn't he?
Not done much recently.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's a fat bloke, isn't he? What's he got? He's probably playing something.
Anyway,
Alright, so I mean, the first topic is something that we've been talking about.
Well, hang on. There's 4 of us this week.
There is, yeah. So obviously, as you know from last week, there's myself, Josh, Max, and Dave. This week we've got a special guest.
What? I want to introduce myself. Oh, you introduce me.
Go on then.
I'm Max.
And I'm Dave.
Thank you, Josh.
Then we've got a special guest this week, which is Glenn.
Oh.
Say hi, Glenn.
Yay. Do you want me to say some of the things I do?
Might as well. We had that last week. I guess we could.
We didn't. Go on.
I've done sound design for a few indie games, and I keep my own gaming blog as well.
So good then.
I don't know Glenn.
I'm a bit legit.
He sounds like it. As I understand it, Glenn is a friend of Dave and Josh.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, there you go.
I'm old school.
Old school friend of Dave and Josh.
Old school friend of mine.
Old school friend, okay.
Okay, so, again, on to the first topic.
Okay.
We have quite a creepy thing, our new 3DS game.
This isn't. I told you earlier. This isn't newsworthy. This isn't news.
It is news.
Surely this should be okay. Right. So, Josh. Okay, go on then. Go on.
So we've got My Little Baby 3D. Now, obviously, you'd think it's quite an innocent game.
And I guess it is technically. But
we will link the screenshot on YouTube.
On the description, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think first things first, the babies look incredibly creepy. Do you remember, like, the first Rainbow Six Vegas game when you could take a picture using the Kinect and upload it and it would kind of render it onto the face of one of the models?
Yeah, online, yeah.
It looks like that, but on a baby.
yeah, I think you're right there. It's pretty...
Basically...
The baby looks like it's like... You remember PS1 graphics? Like really good PS1 graphics. That's what the baby looks like. Like it looks shit now.
Which is kind of a step up from the normal 3DS graphics.
Is it?
In terms of realism.
Whoa!
Have you played Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter looks amazing on video.
In terms of realism.
There's lots of good-looking 3DS games. That's a bit harsh.
No, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm saying...
In terms of
most of them look very cartoony, don't they? Most 3DS games run
on okay.
And,
really, isn't it?
And the 3DS baby is very, very creepy. Well, first of all, I think I've finally found how GTA 5 came up with the idea of creating your character, because you do actually choose what the parents look like, and it chooses what the baby looks like for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The thing is, right...
So they stole the idea from My Baby Simulator.
My Little Baby 3D.
The thing is, this brings me on to sort of the next topic. Can I segue us on, or you want to talk about this more?
You just want to get it off it, don't you? You want to get away from
I want to get away from fucking Baby Sim.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'd like to point out that it's not probably the safest game, because although it is aimed at children...
Josh! Just don't be so fucking... You see, this is a classless show now.
Well, I think we reviewed all the class last week with the talk of Nazis and Jews.
Oh, that was comedy gold.
you do bathe.
The Jimmy Savile simulator.
Oh.
What's the latest one?
One step further.
What was the latest one?
We probably shouldn't talk about this because it might be libelous. We might get sued. You know, like we don't know who's been found guilty in that yet, do we?
Sue me for every penny I don't have.
You do realise if you get sued and don't have any money, they don't just go, "Oh, off you go then."
I didn't expect that really.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't just get let off. You know that, don't you?
Well, what happened?
Well, they just take everything. They take, first of all, they take everything you do have. Yeah, and then every time you earn money, they take that as well.
What if I don't earn money? What if I just leave my job?
They'll keep taking from you.
How? If I'm living on the streets, they can't. They can take my cardboard box. That's about it.
But if you're living on the streets, they win, don't they?
That's pretty much checkmate. Yeah.
I look where your moral ground is. Well, fuck 'em, I'm homeless. Like that's pretty bad, you know.
I'm not going to eat today anyway. That's cool.
I'd rather not be homeless and also not have called someone a paedophile. You know. This is probably not usable, this material. Right?
You started this topic.
This has gone really grim, really fast this week. Let's move
Right,
on.
on the way to the next topic,
because the fact that was the opening news story is probably indicative of the fact that this is a slow news week.
Yeah.
There is prior to, what is it, PS4 is this week, isn't it?
No.
Is it? No, it's next month, isn't it?
Yes, month 2.
It's late November, isn't it?
What's this week? Something's this week. Is it Assassin's Creed?
Yes, Assassin's Creed is on
Assassin's Creed's this week, right? Sorry, I was looking at the board at work and confused myself. So, but I guess this week there'll be big news in that some games have come out, and what a surprise, Assassin's Creed's probably going to be shit. That's probably the big news next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this week, the big news is next week and next month, some things are happening that you already know about.
No matter where you look, the biggest news is hey, we found this cheat code for a game, or here's a
No, that was where
trailer.
That was where you were looking.
That was on a lot of websites.
No, it wasn't. It was on
stuff
one
like that.
website.
The cheap one was, but everything else trailer, review, trailer.
I mean, well, obviously, we said we were going to...
that we were running with was there's a game with a baby in. That was our big story.
Well, I mean, it's really creepy. So I think people understand when they see the
I don't know if
screenshot.
creepy baby in game.
You've got to start with a bang, I guess.
Yeah. BBC News at 10. Bong. Game with creepy baby in. Bong. It's not going to happen, is it?
I don't see why not. Either way, we said we were going to start. We said we were going to start off with a segment about the games we're playing at the moment.
Segment.
It's a segment. It is a segment.
I just like the word segment. Yeah. That's your new nickname, Josh. Johnny Segment.
Johnny Segment.
Yeah.
Chocolate orange segment.
Johnny's chocolate orange. Well, is it John's? Whose chocolate orange is it? Terry's. John's chocolate orange. Who's John? That's just a guy I know.
Stole it from him. Doesn't matter now.
Oh dear. Okay, so we'll start off with Max. I mean, we all know what you've been playing lately, but go ahead, tell the people.
Say that. We know what you've been playing. I've been playing a few games lately, Josh. Amongst other things, I have been playing the original Knights of the Old Republic. I've been playing that last week or so. And I played the second one on Xbox, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So I went and got the first one off Steam. And after about a week of trying to make it work, because apparently it doesn't want to work, after about a week of that, I actually got around to playing it, and it was fun. I know I'm not bigging it up right now, but it was.
You sound extremely excited.
Yeah, I do. I'm off the fucking walls, mate. I'm bouncing around. I also played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
What is that?
You haven't played that?
No.
No one's heard of that.
You guys have
I've played it.
It is one of the best Western RPGs.
Then you've played every game I've ever heard of in my life.
I'm going to have to get you to play this, Josh. I'm going to have to come round to yours, and we'll do a Let's Play or something.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to have to get you to play that because it's sick. It's on Steam. I'll get it on Steam or something. But anyway, I've been playing that. I've also been playing some obscure PlayStation PSP JRPG as well. That I can't remember the name of. That was quite good too. So I've lost a lot of the energy of the show now with that. I'm quite hungover this week, so
It's fine, Brad. Keep going.
One of you, please save me. I'm floundering now.
Dave, what have you been playing?
I, apart from the standard like League of Legends and TF2 and stuff, I've been playing Dragon's Prophet a bit more still, trying to get into that because that seems pretty cool still. I just want a really cool dragon. I want to get to the good dragons because the minute we're getting like these little.
Wait, what's Dragon's
Prophet? It's in quite a recent free-to-play MMO. It's quite cool. Like the whole, like a big part of the game is that you fight and then tame the dragon that then is your pet and is also your mount. But obviously at the start, you're basically flying on like just big pigeons.
What did you say? It was browser-based?
No, it's proper MMO. It's free-to-play. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, Josh had that a while ago. But again, we're trying to find a new MMO, but there's nothing big coming out anytime soon, which is a bit lame. But then, yeah, like Standard League Legends, that kind of getting back into WoW a little bit since like the last patch is out.
Oh, stop talking about multiplayer games. Talk about single-player games.
Bro.
Interesting game.
I've really liked playing Terraria. Now the new patch came out for that. So I used to love that game, and now they brought out the most recent patch. And then that game I love.
Terraria is good. I like
Terraria's really fun. I love that game. It's like Minecraft with bosses, like it should have. I like games need bosses and loot. It makes the world go round.
Yeah.
I've finally got around to playing Tomb Raider because that game's actually really good.
The new one.
Yeah, I bought it on Steam for like a $5 like ages ago, and I've finally got around to playing it.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's like really pretty.
Oh, cool.
And like, yeah, this is the general like how the game flows.
I sort of lost faith in the whole franchise a while ago. Like before it's even off PS1, I'd lost faith in it.
I really see. As far as I'm concerned, it's original trilogy and then that.
It's not similar to Uncharted. If you've ever played that.
I've not played that before, no.
Oh, yeah.
I played Uncharted.
And again, the last thing I've been playing, as I always end up playing every few months, is Half-Life 2 again.
Yeah, me too.
I like Portal or Half-Life. Every few months, I'll play one of them. I have to.
I played Half-Life 1 and 2 right through recently.
I love them games never get like that boring. I love them.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's me for this recent time.
And how about you, Glenn?
I've been on Machine for Pigs.
Amnesia, yeah.
We got a man in the group now.
Glenn man's up to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I still think it's scary. A lot of reviews say it's nowhere near as scary as the first one, but it is. It's
considering that me and Josh nearly shat ourselves playing the first one. I'm pretty happy for it.
One thing that kind of broke my heart a little bit, how scared I got playing those games, and then I saw a guy on Twitch speed running Machine of Pigs.
I think it isn't very long.
He's just there and like he's running around like Q scream number 1, and it's like okay whatever. Then he like jumps across a box and then like clips out the top of the map and just walks along the top. And you see little trigger points going off, and he's like, "This game's so stupid." I'm like, "What? This game's fucking terrifying."
I mean, it's not as bad as how you were with Outlast, is it?
I'm not playing Outlast. That's not happening. I'm not playing it.
Whoa. I want to come and play that then. I'll play that with you, Josh.
We need to go. Yeah. We need to come around and do it. Who was there when I can't remember. It was just you and Andy, wasn't it?
It was me and Andy who were there when we were playing.
Yeah.
Amnesia.
But anyway, what else, Glenn? After that?
Oh, Persona 4 Golden.
Yes! Oh.
You just made Max's day.
Yeah, you did.
I've played and finished Persona 4 so many times, but...
And Persona, yeah, me too. I want a Vita just for Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah. There's lots of extra stuff.
Don't spoil it, man. Don't spoil it. I've avoided learning anything about the extra stuff because I like it's one of my favorite games, but I'm too cheap to just buy PS Vita. So that said, I mean, I get what 20% off them now, don't I? So
yeah. And I think they're like £100 pre-owned anyway at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I can get one for 80 quid. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'll probably pick one up next month.
Dave, have you played it?
No.
It's something. You'd like it.
It's just me and you that have played it.
Was it PS Vita you say it's on that?
PS2. It's on PS2 as well.
Oh, right.
The golden version with all the extra stuff's on Vita.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The thing is, it was one of the last PS2 to get like a commercial release in the West.
Yeah.
Well, one of the last obscure ones.
Yeah. Came out in like 2007.
You know, there was a FIFA out this year. FIFA 14 was out.
Yeah, that's the very last PS2 game they're ever doing, isn't it?
Well, official one apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, it was released while I was working at GameStation in 2008, I think, 2009. So it was quite late on into PS2 stuff. We got like 2 of them in stock, and they were both bought by staff. So that's what happened. Whenever we got a new PS2 game, like, it would always be like obscure Japanese kind of anime-inspired games. They'd always be bought by staff. We got one copy of Odin Sphere in, and me and this other guy had a fight over who would get to buy Odin Sphere. We got Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 or whatever, or something like that. One of those Ultimate Ninja games. And there was a fight over that as well.
They've got a new Naruto game out, haven't they? PC.
All the time. What? There's one on the PC?
Yeah, Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst. It's just been released on the PC. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
I'm getting that.
It's on Steam right now. $29.99, but it looks pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, that's something to look forward to then. Anyway, Josh, what have you been playing?
At the moment, I've been swapping between a lot of multiplayer games, as Dave said, pretty much the same ones, and Beyond Two Souls.
Now, I was playing Beyond Two Souls yesterday. It's fucking good.
It's really good.
That's spoiler-free. Let's not talk about it, because I don't want to spoil it. Because it's one of those games where if you spoil it, it's just spoiled.
But again, I've only watched Josh play it, but isn't it like, doesn't it change? The storyline does change around what you do.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Even so, I don't.
Yeah, it's still stuff you give away. Yeah,
because it's one of the. It's like with story-driven games, with JRPGs particularly. If you spoil an aspect of the story, you've just ruined the whole game for the person.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, like don't get me wrong, the gameplay's okay, but it's the story and.
Well, yeah, it's a very spectator-based game, I guess you could say almost. You are still watching the game all the time.
It's a cinematic experience.
Definitely, yeah.
I think it's a good way to put it.
That's the best part.
I really don't like David Cage, the guy who made it.
Did you play Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
So that start Fahrenheit, what he was talking about.
Is that
it's very important not to make your character suicide.
What? Is that the one where the demo?
Suicide. He was saying like...
Sorry.
Huh? Go on.
No, I was saying, I think I played it at your house, Flynn, years ago on the demo where it's like really snowy.
Yeah.
And you go to the cat in the diner.
Yeah.
And like the candles, that's so weird. That game was messed up.
I've actually got that on my PC right now. I might have a replay of it.
The first half of the plot's like quite sensible, and the second half it just goes apeshit.
Do you play? You guys Heavy Rain?
Yes.
Yes.
Heavy Rain's amazing.
I mean, I think Quantic Dreams in general are just really good.
Yeah, it's good to see they're doing something unique.
All of their games are unique in the sense that
in some way.
Yeah.
Well, they're all very different from each other.
Is it unique in the way that no one else would write that shit?
No, it's good.
It's so messed up. Like, who else would think of it?
Like, I would say Heavy Rain, the soundtrack to Heavy Rain. Like, whenever I hear the theme to Heavy Rain, it like brings it all back, and I'm like, oh my god.
My favorite soundtrack's still Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
that is a good soundtrack for a shit game.
Man.
Have any of you
Persona
guys
4 has a cracking soundtrack, actually.
Persona 3 and 4 both have great soundtracks. That kind of like modern Japanese kind of hip-hop sort of thing. It's really nice. Like World Ends With You is another game with that kind of soundtrack.
I'll have to emulate it.
Josh, you can't say that in a podcast. When you work in a
game before, it's fine.
Does he?
Isn't that the loophole, right? That's what you'll say on the website. Make sure you own the game first. Yep. Definitely.
That's still not technically legal, but I think.
Yeah, I know, but that's how they go. That's what that's what the website say, isn't it? Yeah. Don't download unless you own the game.
Either way, we've just given away that he doesn't own it. So.
Well, the last podcast about how Josh's dad's basically a pirate.
I'm pretty sure I also said he was a pedo. So let's hope the police aren't listening to this.
We're not that big yet. It's all right. We'll wait later on.
When we're big, the police will listen for where their leads are. Guys, we've run out of leads on the Jimmy Savile case. Let's tune into the Lair.
That's the third time we've talked about that now.
I think so. I've got to say, they're very paedophile-based, these podcasts. Let's move on.
You got any more games? Sure.
Sorry?
Josh, any more games you was playing? I don't know if we got to the end of that.
Well, I don't care anymore because I want to talk about something in a second. Shut up. Have you played Chrono Trigger, anyone?
Yeah.
I know the name, but I think so.
Chrono Trigger's a great old RPG. Have you played Chrono Cross?
No, but I do. I've got it.
A Chrono Cross, it's fucking amazing. And that game has the best soundtrack of all time. Right? That kicks the ass off of the Final Fantasy X soundtrack. Final Fantasy X is a piece of shit game. It does have a decent soundtrack, but piece of shit game.
But it's like you with the anime theme songs as well. You love all of them.
Oh, I do, yeah. I'm all about theme tunes, man. I'm all about J-rock in general, but I'm also very big on game music. So that was game music. I realised it sounded like I said gay music. I really like...
Is there a problem with that, Max? Would there be a problem if you did?
Yeah. Not because it's music for gays, but because it's shit. No, I don't. Is there a genre of music specifically for gay people?
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
Physicist is.
Quite like this.
Oh, I've got something to tell you that you don't know about yourself then.
Why is Josh just linking stuff now?
This isn't the time, man.
The one thing that came to mind was when he was saying about theme music was during the Little Britain sketch.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you said that. Right,
right, the theme tune, sing the theme tune, yeah.
The thing I'm thinking of now as well, we're talking about Final Fantasy X, about that, like, the HD release, and how, like, Max saying he's happy about 10.2.
No, okay, I'm going to explain why I like 10.2 more than 10. First of all, I hate 10. I love the gameplay. I acknowledge is good. The production values, the game is beautiful for the time. It looks great. The soundtrack's awesome. The setting is even not that bad. It's fucking Tidus.
Isn't it Tidus technically, according to, like...
I don't give a fuck.
I call him Tidus, but yeah. I hate the...
That little fucking bitch. I fucking hate that guy. I hate Tidus. I hate the fucking story. I hate all of the fucking stupid characters. I fucking hate Waka. I hate Blitzball. I hate the fucking stupid techno bullshit lamppost on the side of the fucking street. I hate that fucking game so much. It's a piece of shit. But, yeah, I really hate it. I really do.
But all that stuff you just pointed out is repeated in Final Fantasy X-2.
The reason I like 10.2 is because they just went, fuck it. Let's make this a stupid fucking game. And they did. They just went, oh, fuck it.
So you put anything on the flip
pure
side.
fan service, isn't it?
It's fan service. It's pure fan service. We get Yuna in hot pants, and we get Riku in a thong.
Actually, I was speaking...
They changed their outfits by changing class as well.
Exactly, yeah. What guy doesn't want that?
I was speaking to a friend yesterday, and on the topic...
You don't have any friends, Josh.
I was in your house yesterday, Josh. What?
On the topic of fan service, he was saying that if someone catches him watching an anime with a lot of fan service, he'd sooner say it was porn than anime.
Exactly. Well, I mean, was it... I love a bit of fan service because I'm a fan, but I have to say I do find it embarrassing as an anime fan when there's like Yoko in Gurren Lagann.
I mean, I think a massive...
Just characters that are ridiculously sexualized, and it detracts from the show.
Well, I mean, a massive glutton for fan service is High School of the Dead.
That's the one I was about to say. Her tits actually make a boing.
Yeah.
Every time she turns around. There's even a shower scene where they are actually genuinely naked.
I mean, I get why fan service is there. I do. But there are times when it kind of does detract from the show. When it doesn't fit with the tone of the show at all. Like, can you imagine if Attack on Titan had, like, a really random, like...
That'd be really weird, because the Titan
shower service scene or whatever. Like, in shows like...
what would be weird was if the fan service was a Titan.
Well, I don't know how much you've seen, Josh. Not going to give anything away, but that sort of happens later on. But anyway,
what's that rule? What? Rule 3? What?
Yeah. No, but like with some anime, like with Panty Stocking and Garter, if you've ever seen that.
The name gives a lot away, I think.
Well, it's not what you think. That's what three of the characters are called. There's Panty, Stocking, and Garter Belt. Three of them. But it's a ridiculous anime, and it is basically just pure fan service.
What anime is that?
Panty, Stocking, and Garter Belt.
Is that an anime?
Yeah.
Sounds very much like.
It's actually pretty funny. It's pretty good. It's meant to be like stupid fan service, but in a show like, I try to think of something with a really depressing story, like Gundam Seed. That was fucking depressing. When they have fan service in Gundam Seed, like they're in the middle of a fight scene and that missile hits the ship and it shakes and the captain's boobs just projector across the room. It's like, this is like taking me out of the show.
There's a time and a place.
There's a time and a place for comedy breasts, and it's not now. Okay? There's a fight. Have some respect, woman. There's robots fighting outside. Let's take this seriously. Code Geass has a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
How much did you ever finish watching it, Josh?
No, I didn't know.
Which one was that?
Code Geass. You were there. We were watching it.
Yeah, was it the one with the
the Rebellion where?
That one. Yeah. That was quite cool actually. Yeah, I forgot about that one actually.
Yeah.
Because it was the same time you showing about 10 animes in like 2 days.
You guys need to sit down and finish watching that because it's one of the most awesome animes.
I'm watching Fairy Tail at the minute, so.
I've been watching.
Oh no! I will let it go if you're watching Fairy Tail because Fairy Tail is fucking awesome.
It's really cool.
It is
I like
amazing. I've been watching Hunter x Hunter.
That's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I love Hunter x Hunter.
Right, let's get back on games because we were talking about anime. 5 seconds now. Let's talk about games again.
Okay, so wait, did you have a topic?
Well, let's
the flip side, Max, before.
What?
The flip side to your comments before on Final Fantasy X is that I love Blitzball, I love Tidus, I love all the stupid characters.
Okay.
I love the storyline.
So this could be a podcast on its own.
I know.
Dave argue about Final Fantasy X. We should come back to this topic because I've literally got so much to fucking say about it. In fact, Josh, I wrote an article for your site about Final Fantasy X and I totally forgot to send it to you.
You did?
Yeah, a really long article about it. About all the things that are wrong with it and how fucking awful it is. And I'm going to sit down, Dave, and I'm going to explain all the things that are wrong with that game. And you're going to go, yeah, you're right, it is shit. And I do hate it. And I do hate all the characters because it's that fucking game. It's so bad.
You don't realize how like simple things can amuse me. So I can get like even like that, and I'll just be like laughing, like yeah, cool.
No,
but
I will not give up until I convert you from that game because it's just awful.
That's going to be a really big.
I say it's awful. I'm still going to buy it when it's released. Absolutely, still going to buy it, and I'm still going to play through both of them. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go, that was fucking shit. And I'm going to be really angry about it.
The second you buy that. If say you buy it in a shop, the second you turn off that counter, I'll be just there with a massive grin behind you, like, "Hey, Max, what you got there?"
Well, you won't be because I'm staff, and I'll buy it in the back room and go out the back with it in a paper bag.
I'll make Josh go there with his laptop, like Skype.
Josh works in a different shop to me.
I'm still allowed in the back.
No, you're not.
There I am.
Jag said if he ever saw you come in the back, he'd shoot you.
Jag said that.
Yeah, and Dave said you were a cunt. So.
I'm guessing that's not me, Dave.
No, it's the guys I work with.
Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, gaming news. What's next?
Fuck me. Right, yeah. Let's go back on gaming news because we've been.
They don't care who Jack and Dave are.
All right, so one topic. This is my wild card. One topic that.
Oh no, it was just abandoned news.
No, this is news.
Okay.
That I thought was really interesting was the ex-EA CEO and his thoughts on AAA games.
Is this John Riccatelli?
Yes.
Oh.
And
yeah,
Glenn's part of the. Okay, we don't hate anyone. That's a rule, right?
Yes, that is a rule.
Surely it's Riccitello? I've no idea how you would go about pronouncing that.
Riccitello.
Is that how yours? That's what we're going with.
That's what we're going with. His view on EA Games was actually surprising for someone who even worked for EA.
Someone who was the chief, who was basically the boss of EA. Some of the shit he said is laughable.
Well, his whole view on AAA games was that it's literally, these are his words, it's a big fuck you to gamers.
Yeah. Kind of is, though.
Saying
right.
You can't keep charging $60 or 40 quid for a game when you've got games that are just as good coming out as free to play. Or that have just as much entertainment value.
I'd argue that a free, like LOL has infinitely more value to it than, say, Assassin's Creed.
Definitely.
I'm not trying to beat down Assassin's Creed, but actually, no, I am.
Even GTA. I love GTA 5, but I've played it now. I don't really need to play it again. I don't really not got that much.
The thing is, a lot of the things he said in the past. I mean, this was a while ago. He said this, Josh, wasn't it?
Actually, it's this week.
Well, either way, he said things like this in the past, like when he first left, more or less, which was over the summer sometime, pretty much, or before then, maybe. I don't know. Either way. He said this stuff like straight away. He was saying stuff like he thinks that gaming companies are profiteering and things like that. And I think for the guy who's in charge of EA, just the most evil bastards who've ever fucking lived, who just ruined the gaming industry. Admittedly, Activision have done their best as well. It's not all EA. People have tried their hardest to join in. And Activision have done arguably more damage than EA, but EA have done it worse, if you know what I mean. They've done it on a grander scale. It's just evil. And no matter what he says, he's a fucking lying shit for implying that he wasn't profiteering and he's not an evil bastard. He is a lying shit. I'm calling you out, John Riccitello, whatever you're fucking called. You got
you're listening.
Stupid faggot bitch name, John Riccitello. Come at me, son. You're a dickhead, and your company are dickheads. Fuck you.
Someone hit like a really.
No. I fucking hate EA. Right? you know that I fucking hate a lot of things. Right? I would sit and play Final Fantasy X with you, Dave, for the rest of my life. If I could slap an EA executive in the face.
That's doubly fun, because it's one playing Final Fantasy X, and two sitting in a room with me for the rest of your life.
Exactly. That's how seriously I take hating EA.
You see so many CEOs come out and say stuff like that, like, games are too expensive. Oh, except for ours.
Games are too expensive. Well, good job. You did it. It was you. It was your fault. It's like, what's his name? The Activision CEO or someone in Activision said, I want to take all of the fun out of making games. And he also said, I think I think the best way to make games is to treat all of your staff like shit, make them do unpaid overtime, and make them constantly terrified of losing their jobs. And that's the best way to motivate your team. And he said, that's what I'm going to do. And that is the gaming industry right there.
But then you see the Valve headquarters, and that was like a fucking playground.
Okay, so I mean, we've got quite a few.
And it's just fucking Gabe Newell sat on the doorstep eating pies, looking like a tramp.
I know, right? Living life, 2 kids.
Like, don't get me wrong, he is the sort of good guy alternative to EA in people's heads, but smart enough and lose some fucking weight, Gabe.
He doesn't need to. He's God.
He needs to lose some weight though. Because if God came down and he was fat, I'd say, oh, God, get off the pies, mate. And then he got thin, I'd go, all right, God, put the work in, get me in heaven. Because apparently he'd come and invite me personally.
That kind of says a lot for how you view yourself.
I was just thinking that really sets me up as an egotist. I said that in a weird way, egotist. Right, go on, let's move on then. Go on.
All right,
what do you have to say about it, Jay? Go on.
Well, I mean, first of all, we've got quite a few quotes from him this week. I mean,
he's going mental, isn't he? He's turned into this is like an old person reference. You won't get this. Do you remember when Greg Dyke left the BBC?
No.
Okay, so Greg Dyke left the BBC, and then he just went and he said, "I'm not going to say anything about it," and he kept his silence about it. And then after like an hour, he went mental and just started slagging off the BBC and slagging off everyone else, talking about how fucking amazing he is, and how he was a martyr and all this shit. And that's basically what this guy's doing. Like, since he stepped down from EA, I think it was in March, April, springtime, I want to say.
I like to think he's just sitting there hitting refresh on the bank balance, waiting for his pay to come through. Like, now it is, fuck you. Anyway.
He's just going mental. Like, he's not said anything particularly about EA, but it's implied.
Well, I mean, another thing he did say, and this is obviously in hindsight of The Secret World, which they published.
Yeah.
They said AAA companies spend too much on making free-to-play games because they're used to making AAA games, and the greenlight process for free-to-play games produced by AAA studios can cost more than making a whole free-to-play game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hang on, my girlfriend's talking to me. Podcast, can't talk. Love you. Right. It's just, I just, as an afterthought, so I didn't get in trouble.
Good save.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in a way, I can see where he's coming from with that comment.
Absolutely, I think he's right as well.
It's a fair comment, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a fair comment. But also, I think AAA titles they're spending too much on them.
Oh yeah, Dead Space 3 was considered a failure, weren't it? Even though it sold like 3 million copies.
Prototype 2 sold pretty well for the budget. Considered a failure. Well, I don't know if it's considered a failure, but they shut the studio down, so they obviously weren't pleased with it. And that's if a game doesn't sell. If a game isn't a COD, it's a failure.
Well, that is the problem when you've got companies that are bringing out these games that are selling billions of copies in the first few days, like GTA 5, for example. Then you're kind of setting the bar higher for everyone else. So when games reach what before would have been a perfectly reasonable target, it's now being made to the point where they're expecting a lot more than what they're going to get.
Possible, really, for them.
Yeah, but companies like EA just try and copy COD.
The thing is,
so many others companies.
The problem is what games like COD do is you release a COD, you pay $50 bajillion in advertising, and people buy it. Yeah, you spent billions of dollars brainwashing people into thinking they want to play this game. What do you know? They fucking go out and buy it. We know that's what advertising is. You basically waved something in someone's face for a week, and they go, "Do you know what? I'll go and get the new COD."
Well, have you seen the new COD advert?
Shut the fuck up! I'm raging. I'm in full rage. I'm approaching a crescendo, Josh. Never interrupt a man as he's approaching a crescendo. Jesus Christ! Right. So you advertise a game, you spend twice the budget on development on the advertising, which is what they do now, and then people buy it. The problem is you then think every game has that potential. You think everyone who bought COD will buy every game, and they won't. And that's the problem. Is people seem to think, well, 50 billion people. Let's say 10 people bought COD. Now, of those 10 people that bought COD, 15 of them have never been in the game shop before. In most cases, do you know what I mean? That's how big COD is. It's like more than half the people playing it, or who go into game stores and buy it. They're not gamers. They're just people who play COD. And the gaming industry now has this artificial thing where they think, well, every game could sell to those 20 people rather than the usual 5 that we sell it to. And so they're just wasting investment and wasting money trying to make a game that ultimately is never going to reach those players. And it's stupid.
I mean, I do have 2 points to make. I mean, first of all, have you seen the latest Call of Duty advert?
No.
Has anyone seen it?
In fact,
no.
Is it the old guy that starts jumping around?
It's basically, it shows how complacent they're getting with the fact that people buy it. It doesn't show any gameplay footage. It doesn't show anything to do with the game. All it shows is people talking about their experience in Call of Duty. So it's got a girl at the dentist saying, "Oh yeah, I shot this guy, blah blah blah," and everyone's getting really excited about it. And then there's nothing to do with the game in there.
That's because they shat out the game in a few months. It's going to be a piece of shit. They'll pay off GameSpot and IGN and Eurogamer to say, "Oh, 8 out of 10, COD's back. It's as good as ever." It'll be a piece of shit, like all the other fucking CODs are.
I like to think COD spend more time photoshopping the new logo than they do making the game.
And then there's my second point.
Fucking do. Well, I'll tell you what. More money's gone into paying everyone to say the game's good and advertising it than has gone into making it. I assure you of that.
Well, there's my second point, which is that a lot of the people who buy Call of Duty literally will only play Call of Duty and FIFA. It's got a niche market. It's got the lad. That was what I was trying to say. Yeah, that's exactly the point I was trying to make. So there's twice as many players who just play the FIFA and COD. As you said, the lad market. That's what a good word for it. And the gaming industry seems to think that those lads who just play those 2 games are a potential target for all games, and they're not.
And they've got to stop wasting time and money trying to get those people to buy their games. Make games for your core demographic, the people that have supported you for the last 30 years. Do them a favour. Stop trying to exploit the industry. Try and make games for the people who deserve the games, the people who are actual gamers. It really pisses me off.
Yeah, just trying to lure in the COD crowd while making the games similar to it.
Well, I mean, when was the last time there was a AAA game of a new IP? Watch Dogs. And look what's happened to that.
Delayed.
Yep. Delayed probably because, I don't know why, but delayed. It's not a good start. And it doesn't happen anymore. You don't make AAA releases anymore on new IPs because no one fucking buys them. So it's just a waste of... Well, I mean, people do buy them, but the amount of money that goes into AAA title, you can't afford that on a game that's not going to be bought by everyone in the world.
To be fair, even with FPS as a thing in itself, multiplayer FPS games, they're not like dying or anything, but it's more the fact that like there's so many companies that will bring an FPS game out and they'll be like, oh, competitive playstyle or anything like that. And people can't be bothered to learn FPS. They've got COD and they're happy with it. They're happy to sit on the sofa, not getting too serious about it, playing COD. Like, everyone, anyone can, any 5-year-old can get a kill streak on COD and think that they're sick because they've just called in a chopper or something.
That's been another massive point on the news this week. I can't remember who it was, but someone said that COD doesn't have hardcore gamers. All COD gamers are casuals.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's caused a lot of tension in the news because obviously you had COD at MLG and stuff like that.
The only reason COD was at MLG is because it was paid to be there.
Yeah, it's too popular to not have it.
COD was exactly. COD was at MLG because it's a competitive game, or the players are good, or anything else. Professional COD players don't earn enough to be professional COD players. You can't be a professional COD player. You don't earn enough money doing it. There's not enough money in it.
Yeah.
Like if you go on a COD stream, there's at most like 1,000 people.
The big tournaments, you're talking maybe 7,000 kind of thing, like.
Yeah.
Where the average LoL stream gets 26,000 or something. Like.
The average LoL stream gets like 200,000 these days.
The tournament, I mean, a single player alone on a weekday night will get 20, 30,000 viewers.
20, 30,000. Yeah, I mean, some of the big players can get like 100,000.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, if they're streaming at the right time of day. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked with that. But it's just, I agree with that totally. I don't think people who play COD and Battlefield even, you're not a hardcore gamer. You're a fucking bitch.
I'd much rather play Counter-Strike or something with a challenge.
I'd much rather play LoL.
Yeah, that's the way FPS was though.
Yeah, Call of Duty and Battlefield really aren't balanced well enough for tournament and MLG play.
No.
Yeah. I don't really like first-person shooters as an esport. I don't think it should be an esport, and I'm glad that it's not really anymore. There is one esport, and it is LoL. There were no other esports. Anything else that thinks it's an esport is kidding itself. Dota 2 can sometimes be an esport every now and then when they waste all of that money doing the huge tournament on it. But other than that, there is no esport. It is just LoL. That's it.
What about StarCraft? StarCraft's huge.
No, StarCraft's been taken away now.
StarCraft's
dying out a little bit.
The StarCraft isn't MLG now either, yeah. It's not
First
MLG.
of all, MLG dropped it.
So all the
Blizzard,
a lot of players have quit it.
Blizzard don't give a fuck about it. And as we brought up last week on the podcast, a lot of the Korean pros, well, let's not talk about that. A lot of the Korean pros have just said, have either called it a day or have specifically said, I'm going to go and become a LOL pro. So
yeah. One thing I do find quite funny though, or almost bad about, is like, I mean, I love Valve, I love Steam and Valve and everything, and so I wish I did like Dota more, but I'm a LoL player. But Dota has a much better spectator mode. Like, have you ever tried to have you ever seen a tournament on Dota?
Dota was made
for that, yeah.
With that in mind, and LoL wasn't for whatever reason.
Have you seen on Dota?
Well, in LoL they had to botch together a spectator mode.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because on Dota 2, when there's a live tournament on, you actually can go into Dota 2, click on the tournament game, and you can watch the game in your own you can direct the camera as much as you want. You could watch your favourite player for the entire game.
Well,
and you can press a button and still hear the commentators live.
There's a reason they don't do that in LoL, which is because then you just miss out on advertising.
I guess, yeah, LoL is very advertising-based.
Yeah, so that's why they don't do that in LoL.
It's like with the commentators who want to wear the team shirts with their adverts on it.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. So.
Like Crepper and stuff, yeah.
Right. What else we got?
Right.
Oh, he's gone then.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so I did kind of want to bring it back to whatever it was that was said earlier about Mario and Sonic.
No, let's not.
Yeah, that's where Mommy was live.
This podcast is just Max versus Dave.
No, okay, I know. I never said I didn't look. Sonic was actually. I can say Sonic was the first game I ever played, and I love that game. But it was just what Game Theory said, and it blew my mind.
Game Theory, and fuck you.
I'm running around at the speed of sound. No, you're not, mate.
So I think after we've mentioned this now, we do need to say something about it.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Just cover your ears, Max. I'll make it quick.
We've given Game Theory a plug. People can go and check it out on Game Theory. I'm not talking about it. I'm not having it on my podcast. And it's my podcast now. I've taken over just so Dave can't fucking talk about bullshit. I'm so angry at you, Dave, for that.
It's cool, bro. I'll give you a hug later.
Never touch me.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Right.
Get drunk and touch me.
Your wild card.
Right. So this is sort of just related to last week's news. It's not really. Well, I suppose it is a news story, but I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Remember last week, Dave and I had an argument about the Luigi 3DS. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just been announced there is a Luigi 2DS. Well, at least an image has been leaked of a Luigi 2DS. Now,
Can I call it now? 1-0.
No, if anything, it's 2-0 to me.
2-0 to Luigi.
That's the one that's fan made.
Okay, right. Oh, I understand now. So this is a fake fan-made picture, is it?
No, it's real, but it was fan made.
If I made it now, they're producing it, I guess.
Well, I don't know. All I can find about it on the internet is that it's what was it? It's just an anonymous tip, like it hasn't been announced or anything. But that's just it.
I have no idea, actually.
Either way, the fact that someone went from as low as making a Luigi... I mean, I know it's...
No, it's not low, come on.
It's as low as a human being can get.
It is the year of Luigi.
Yeah, it's the year of Luigi, so it's bound to have some stuff coming out for him.
It's not the year of Luigi.
It is. Nintendo has a year for every character.
No, it's the year...
No, because the content Max is the year of Max again.
Yeah, it's always the year of Max.
The year of Player 2.
No, what it is, it's the year of... it's the year of, oh shit, we've run out of things to make money on.
Unsung hero, Player 2.
Luigi. Dave, you're cruising for a bruising, son. I can't tell. I have a feeling this podcast, it feels even worse than last week to me.
Yeah. I think it is an empty week, though, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's just nothing to talk about. The news is just dead this week. Well, that was my wild card, was just that. Just taunt Dave a bit more. But I feel like we should move away from me and Dave just arguing. Because that's what this podcast...
I quite enjoy it. It's fun.
I enjoy it, Dave. It's just sexual tension.
Has anyone else got any topics?
The Xbox One is on tour.
What? But good, it can fuck off.
It's stopping off in towns around the UK, and you can go and play it.
Oh, like a mobile little setup for it?
Yeah, but they've just added some extra dates because apparently it was so popular.
But isn't the PS4 already in shops?
Well, hang on, that brings me on to something. I at work this week, we had the PS4 in our store with some Sony reps. The Sony reps are really cool, actually, I have to say. I really like you met the Sony rep, the Scottish guy.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy, that guy. I really like him. He's really chill. And we were going to trade him his PS4 jacket for one of our Xbox One jackets. Looking to head Sony head off.
You just got someone fired. You realise that?
No, he didn't go for it in the end.
Oh, good.
But I had a go on the PS4, and I've got to say, hand on heart, I really was not impressed.
Really?
I know I was playing demos, and I know it's early stuff, but considering the fucking fuss that's been made about it, it doesn't look it looks worse than PS3 current stuff. But and I know it's going to. I know it always does, because obviously we've not been. The people haven't had long to develop on it and stuff, but it's really nothing special. I mean, the games I was looking at were nothing special. You know, I was looking at FIFA. I was looking at some racing game. I don't even know which one it was. You know, it was meh.
It's not really worth pre-ordering a next-gen console.
Yeah, honestly, you know, I know I'll get shot in the head by the company I work for saying this, but fortunately they don't know who I am. But genuinely, I really don't think it's worth pre-ordering a new next-gen console. Give it a year. Give it a year, and then order one, maybe.
Yeah.
When the light version comes out as well, the improved version probably will.
Oh, yeah.
Bring out a second version.
They've repaired the inevitable equivalent of the fucking...
360.
Yeah, the rings of death and all that stuff.
Was that yours, Josh? Didn't you get one, like, release day, Josh, something? And they're like...
No, I've never had a ring of death.
No, I've actually got a release day 20 gig console. Worked perfect. Still.
Right, have any of you heard of the patch for the PS3?
What's that?
PS4. The PS4 patch.
Oh, the day one patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, a lot of the basic features won't work. Like, until you do this patch, you will not be able to watch Blu-rays. You will not be able to play any Blu-ray or DVDs. You won't be able to use any of the online features. Basically, you need it to play the game, to play the console.
Do you want to know why?
So I'm guessing some really big, like, some dangerous bug for them anyway.
Nope. Josh, why do you think so?
I'm not sure.
Glenn?
I was going to say so people will get PS Plus to access the online to get the patch.
You are bang on. It is to force people to register online. That is exactly why. It's to force people to register online. Yeah. It's to force people to put their details onto a Sony database so Sony can sell them on to other advertisers if they're so inclined. I'm sure they'll... No, that's exactly why. You laugh. That's exactly what they do.
No, that sounds right. Day one, they'll get that much info and stuff in straight away.
Yeah, they want all your personal info, and they want you on their system. They want to be able to get you, hook you into the store, if you like. That's exactly why they're doing it. That stuff isn't locked for any other reason than that.
There's no reason to log in to patch something unless they really want you to, which then they do.
There's no reason they can't put all them features in now before the release.
If they've announced that there's a day one patch, it's obviously already finished.
Yeah.
So, it's just a scam.
And the patch itself is going to be 300 megabytes in size. So, if you've got crappy internet...
Have fun.
Exactly.
Don't get your friends around too soon, or you get really awkward. Got this new game. But, nope.
And if you've got no internet, you're fucked.
Well, no, when there's a patch, will there, if there's no internet?
Well, you'll get home and you'll turn it on and nothing will work. And you'll go, fuck, why is this? And then you'll bring it back to the store, and the store will say, yeah, you've got to go online and patch it. And you go, well, I don't have internet.
Then you've got to go sit at McDonald's and use their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you can use their Wi-Fi. You can't use their fucking TV.
Just pull out, like, the hard start out.
I'll tell you what, as we learned from last week, don't bring anything with value.
To a Macca's, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll see that PS4 straight away.
Yeah, that'll be gone.
Well, more importantly, don't leave it in a carrier bag. Don't buy a PS4. Go in Macca's and leave it in a carrier bag. And
also don't trust Rianne to guard it.
Mike Tyson.
Sorry, don't trust Mike Tyson to guard it.
You were offended last week because and now you're doing it again.
I was staring her out. I was having eye contact while I said that.
No dinner for you tonight.
Do you blame her, Josh?
I do. I'm crushed inside.
You sound it, mate.
I will never be the same again.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next topic.
That's probably a good thing.
We have BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea.
Now, I don't know that much about this, so someone else should talk.
Well, I know Glenn.
Someone else talk while I look it up.
I know Glenn's played a lot of BioShock.
Yeah.
So I've played and completed all of the BioShock games.
Burial at Sea basically returns you to Rapture.
I assumed that from the name.
I've heard about that before it came out. I've not seen anything of it now.
Well, it releases mid-November.
Literally, when I was looking up stuff we talk about today, about 10 minutes before the podcast, on GameSpot, I saw this up there. And I'd heard about the Burial at Sea before, but I didn't look at it. so I don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
So you guys talk about it. I'll read the article, and then I'll get back to you.
Well, it's set as Booker DeWitt goes down to Rapture.
Keep it down a bit, mate. I'm trying to read.
As I said, it's set going back down to Rapture.
So, without trying to spoil Bioshock for anyone that hasn't played it yet, the idiots that haven't played it yet. So this is based before the end of Bioshock Infinite, then, but after Bioshock 1 and 2.
Oh,
yes.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure it's based.
No, because if you think about the end of Infinite, then
shit! Well, I haven't finished Infinite. I've just realised. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, yeah,
shit. No, we can't talk about it then. Spoilers. We can't talk about it.
No, that's why I said it without spoiling.
But hang on. It could be like the ending of. I've just realised I haven't finished it as well. I thought I had.
Yeah, go finish it after this. You know.
Okay. I'll go finish it after this. But hang on. Right, did you guys play Fallout 3?
Yes.
So I'm going to say this for people. I don't give a shit if it's a spoiler. It's like a 5-year-old game. You haven't finished it, you're an idiot. Go and finish it now. But we'll just pause the podcast, go finish Fallout 3, and then come back. Okay? We'll wait for you. We'll just talk amongst ourselves. All right, just pause it. Right, are you back? Good. So at the end of Fallout 3, the main character dies. Yeah? You guys all knew that, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. But in the DLC,
in
the DLC, they changed the ending. So he didn't die, he was just unconscious, and now you wake up a couple of weeks later.
That's like Portal as well, 4-2.
Yeah. I don't know what the ending of Bioshock Infinite is, but there is the potential to change endings in DLC.
No.
This is pretty conclusive.
No. Hear me out, though. They could, they could just add it in, so before the ending, something happens. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, like a Portal where GLaDOS drags you back, even though she's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'll start at the beginning of the game. When you come to the dark, and you go up the tower.
That's possible.
Well, it could be
Columbia.
Go
down instead.
Well, you guys are assuming it will be related to the story of Infinite.
But it's just the character himself. But
it may not be the same character.
Oh,
you said it's Booker DeWitt.
It'll be an alternate universe, won't it?
It'll be another tear, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Because that's what the whole game's about, isn't it?
It's, the description of it says, join Booker and Elizabeth in a film noir style story that places them in a shining, pristine rapture on the eve of its fall from grace. So it's set before Bioshock 1 and 2.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, okay.
So it must be an alternate time
for a bit.
It's got to be for a tear, because obviously with the noir style, it's going to be black and white. Or, for the most part, black and white.
It can't be black and white. The original Bioshock was film noir without black and white.
That's fair enough. And the creative director of Irrational Games, the guys who created the game, Ken Levine, said this is a love letter to the fans, but it's also the beginning of a story that will give gamers a new perspective on the Bioshock universe.
Oh, don't give me another one. I'm already confused after Infinite. That ending was such a mindfuck.
Well, according to this, apparently it's going to take about 3 hours long. But the fact that they've called it episode 1...
Yes, it's going to be an episodical thing.
Yeah, no, obviously that, but that means presumably, if there's 3 or 4 episodes, there'll be at least 3, won't there?
Yeah,
it's like another full game almost, really.
So yeah, there's pretty much a full game there, isn't there?
There is a season pass for Bioshock as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yes,
that's probably what I'm going to get at probably now sooner than later. Then
one thing he did say was that all the environments in the Burial at Sea are crafted from scratch.
I believe that.
So it's not reusing stuff. So yeah, basically they're not reusing Bioshock 1.
Yes. It said,
but even then, saying that, what's determined as environment. Do you know what I mean?
It could just be remodeling.
Exactly. It's really
the entire quote.
But what I mean is that phrase is misleading.
Well, the entire quote said, "With Burial at Sea, we built a rapture not from Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite scraps and pieces, but with environments almost entirely crafted from scratch."
Almost.
Again,
yeah, but
I'll believe that when I see it.
I don't know if anyone hears much about cars, but it's like when they bought the new Porsche 911 out I like the old one. They said every single panel on this car is new, but you would not tell the cars apart if you looked at them without a badge. It's that kind of thing. Companies use that kind of term, and it doesn't really mean what it does, what it says.
Now, another thing they've announced
that's just confused the shit out of me.
Episode 2 will apparently give gamers a chance to see things through Elizabeth's eyes.
Well, I mean, this is all conjecture at this point, without anything solid to go on.
These are solid quotes.
But she ain't got no guns.
It's a solid quote, but there's no proof of it. So that's just I mean, if you're going to go on quotes, imagine how good any game that fucking Peter Molyneux's made would be. Imagine fucking how good Fable would have been if everything Peter Molyneux said about it was...
I like Fable.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Argument number 5.
No. Fable, good game. Fable 2, okay game.
Bit.
Fable 3, down a little bit more, but still okay. It's not bad, it's okay. Like, you can't play Fable 3 and say it's a bad game. It's got good production value, it's got decent voice acting, it's fun, it's just not awesome. But it's like Peter Molyneux, when he plays a game, or when he's making a game, he's like he's just quit EA. You know? Like, or like he's been, like Greg Dyke, you know? Like I was talking about earlier. Just people who can't shut the fuck up. Like, the development stuff, when they're making a game, yeah, like me. But, like, I mean, people who can't shut up making promises and stuff, or about stuff they shouldn't talk about.
Like with the Fable 3 thing, where he said about the amount of freedom you should have been able to get, and there was nothing even close.
There was barely any freedom at all, yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike in Fable 2, when he was saying the dog would be more realistic than a real dog, and you'd fall in love with the dog in the game, and you'd sacrifice your life and your children in real life for this fucking CGI dog. It was that realistic.
It will even catch a ball and bring it back for once. God.
Yeah, and literally it was like the dog just sort of found you treasure, and that was about it. It was like, well,
digging spots and enemies.
Yeah,
I like dogs, but I'd rather it wasn't there. It got in the way.
Oh, I didn't mind it.
I still save the dog.
Everyone saves the dog.
Everyone saves the dog, yeah.
It's like, I don't know if this is again another spoiler, but it's like, near the end of GTA, like that text. Everyone does the same thing.
Hang on, GTA is pretty... That's too recent to spoiler. You can't talk about that.
That's why I'm not spoiling it. I'm making it really vague, but anyone that's played it will know what I'm on about.
Yeah.
The big choice.
Well, every game ends with a big choice, really, doesn't it, these days?
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3, which ended in a really small choice.
That's in zero choice.
What colour lights do you want in the ending sequence?
Or the choice of do you want to buy DLC to find out what actually happened at the end.
Yeah.
That's the only choice you get. Do you want to pay more money to actually complete the game?
EA backed out of that fucking mess, didn't they? Right, because, like, I don't know if you know about the Mass Effect thing. I guess this would just be another wild card for me. Right when Mass Effect came out, there'd been a couple of games that year that had an ending and then a real ending that was DLC. And I think Mass Effect 3 was clearly going to do that. And the reaction was so negative, EA just went, shit, we better not do this. I think that's the main reason they didn't. Because the fan reaction was so overwhelmingly negative.
That's progression, though. They heard what the fans said.
They heard what the fans said.
Progress.
EA gains ears.
Yeah.
Headline. Alright, one thing I did want to go on to, although...
Wait. How long have we gone on for?
An hour and 5.
Okay, so we've got another 10 minutes or so, really.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
So this is not something massive, but it is...
Order curry.
but it is something...
This is so professional, isn't it?
I mean, Call of Duty Ghosts, they've got a new game mode, which takes it...
Wait, no, you said it wrong, Josh. You've got to say, Call of Duty Ghosts! Woo.
Who are you going to call?
No, say it again. Say it properly.
Call of Duty Ghosts!
And
is,
ooh, at the end.
Ooh!
Yeah, okay, carry on.
They've got a new game.
Call of Duty. Well,
screenshots have just been...
COD.
Oh dear.
Sorry, carry on, Josh, sorry.
The Count Song Senses just stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
They've had screenshots leaked, and...
No, they haven't had screenshots leaked. They've leaked their own fucking...
No, they have.
Well, it goes
you.
along the lines of a Nazi Zombies kill mode, except it's called Extinction and fighting waves of aliens.
That's ingenious.
Yeah. So it's just a different version of Zombies.
Oh, the innovation.
Well, I mean, come on.
So basically, it's Gears of War Swarm mode.
Pretty much. But you've got to think, in terms of Call of Duty games, that's a much bigger change than we've seen in any of the others.
No, there's never been any change in any of them.
It'll perhaps be better than Aliens Colonial Marines, though.
It's definitely going to be better than Smoke Greens.
I took a shit this morning. That was a more satisfying experience than Aliens Colonial. Oh, fuck, I can't even say it. That's how shit that game is. Oh, I hate that game.
Never played it. I don't think I want to.
You don't.
No.
Considering that game, right, as soon as the game had been like 100 years in the making, I was like, oh god, it's going to be another Duke Nukem Forever. And it was. You know? Whenever a game has a development cycle of longer than one generation, don't play it. It's going to be shit.
It's going downhill.
And it was complete shit. And it could have been good. That's the worst part. Like, even the shit Alien vs. Predator game out a couple of years ago was better. Like, that game at least had, like, kind of some survival horror elements. It wasn't that bad. This game was just trash.
I don't think we actually spoke about this last week.
Okay.
About a GTA 5 PC installer. We didn't mention it, no.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
We didn't. Go on.
The thousands of idiots installing the PC installer for GTA 5. That's I think it turned out to be about 8 gigabytes.
18, I thought you said to me.
Oh, it's something like that. And it absolutely ruined their PCs.
18 gigabytes of viruses.
The thing is, if you're that stupid...
Yeah, we were saying that then. Everyone that got that deserves it.
Yeah, it's 18 gigabytes. It would hand over your private data and allow what I can only assume to be 18 gigabytes of spyware to run loose on your system.
It's the same kind of person that thinks they've genuinely won a PS3 off that advert at the side of their screen.
Yeah, it's the guy who always goes, I've got to splat the monkey. Okay, and he's clicking trying to kill the monkey.
I won it!
Yeah. Oh, if I score 10 goals, I win a free iPad. Yeah. Your system is unsecure. Please click here to get an antivirus program. Oh, okay. Seems legit. Yeah, it's those same people. I mean, that says it all, though, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, I don't like. Again,
it's a slap in the face to us PC gamers. They're acting like we're smarter than console gamers. That a load of people got caught by that.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, PC
or
Master
maybe that's just a very smart PC Master Race gamer. Ethnic cleansing.
It was the PC gamer holocaust.
The ones that have gone from COD to PC are now back on their Xbox because we don't want them.
We've killed all the PC Jews.
Oh god.
We're not onto Jews again, are we?
To be fair,
it would only be so long before we got onto the Holocaust again, wouldn't it?
I just wish GTA was out on PC though. Like, I remember reading somewhere that the earliest predictive announcement time for GTA 5 on PC is like January, February. Is when they're going to announce it. Looking at the older games.
I mean,
which is really lame.
I don't think they're even going to announce it.
They should though, because like how big was modding on GTA 4?
It sold like 80 bajillion copies in the first.
So people will buy it on PC just for the modding on it. People love doing that. Like GTA 4, there's so much stuff for that game. It's like Skyrim almost.
Well, I mean, maybe they will release the PC, but they do. It'll be a shit version. It'll be a shitty port.
It would be it's like all of them, really badly crossover version. Yeah, the controls will be horrible, but I'll still play it. So okay, Xbox controller.
And back onto an earlier topic. ESL have already announced Battlefield 4 tournaments for this year and next year.
No. EA have paid ESL to announce Battlefield tournaments for this year and next year. You misspoke, Josh. Right? Battlefield 4 is not how can you have that as a competitive game? I think about it logically. How can a game like that be a competitive game now? It can't. It's been paid to go there. It's there purely for advertising purposes.
I just imagine Max working in McDonald's. Can I have a quarter pounder? No, you're wrong. Here's a Big Mac. Like, that's what I pictured this then. Like.
Yeah, I work in a game store. People come in to buy, like, COD. I just give them a copy of Skyrim and send them away.
Near enough.
You'll thank me later.
You'll thank me. People come in to buy Saints Row, and I just kill them. And then there's a kid who was going to buy Saints Row with his mom, and his mom's crying, going, "Oh, you killed my son!" And I go, "You will thank me later when he grows up, a fucking idiot."
He's not growing up anymore. He's dead.
Exactly. I've just saved you.
Moving on. What's next? Someone move on.
Actually, I think that's just about it.
Don't bring up stabbing someone's kid.
I didn't stab her kid. I killed her kid.
That's just about it. Yeah.
This is a good tone. This is a good tone to end on. We should try and end on a happier note. Let's see if anything good going on.
On a happy note, they patched Pokemon. You will no longer lose your save. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Happy note. Pokemon.
You're now safe in Liviu City.
Did we already talk about that?
Not
on
this week.
stream.
Last week we spoke about it last week.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Maybe
I think we talked about it before the podcast. Though.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the happiest note of the week.
Okay.
This week has been a really boring news week.
Oh, that new. We watched the new Xbox One advert.
Yeah.
That was good with the Zachary Quinto and stuff in it.
And so,
apparently, it cost $100 million at least.
What?
That advert apparently cost at least $100 million.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have been
I could have made a lot more with that. And bought a house afterwards as well. Anyway.
Yeah.
I believe that is all for today.
That's a good sign to end the podcast.
That's all for this week.
That is all for this week on the Lair. Head over to baconcape.com for more game-related news.
And if you're watching this on YouTube video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below.
Yeah. If you think Josh is a faggot, please write it.